Donald Trump has once again managed to distract the world with his baseless claims of voter fraud. He did it after the losses he sustained in primaries in 2016. He did it after the drubbing he took in the 2018 midterm election. Now he's doing it following the repudiation of him in the 2020 election. We've seen this movie, and frankly, it's boring. So why in the world should we chase down yet more of his bright, shiny object lies? Doing so is far worse than a waste of time. It's an abdication of our responsibility to get ahead of and stop his next scam. Given the short time available, that next scam will be his worst, and it will be here in a few days. Trump has fired the Secretary of Defense and several other high-level people in the Department of Defense, and has replaced them with know-nothing yes men, people loyal only to him. Same for our national security leadership, and he fired the head of our cybersecurity team. That's a lot of compromising of our national security protections all at once. Why would he do that with only 2 months left in his administration? You know that he's desperate to retain power because he's facing an encyclopedia of indictments the minute he steps off Marine One on January 20. Plus, he's told us plainly that he wants to be the president for life and that maybe he won't leave. He always telegraphs the wrongdoing he's going to commit, and we ignore that at our collective peril. So given his stated intention to stay in power forever, what do you think he might do? From Wikipedia, lightly edited. The Reichstag fire was an arson attack on the Reichstag building, home of the German parliament in Berlin, on Monday, 27 February 1933, precisely 4 weeks after Adolf Hitler was sworn in as Chancellor of Germany. Hitler's government stated that a Dutch council communist was the culprit, and it attributed the fire to communist agitators. The day after the fire, the Reichstag fire decree was passed, close quotes. You need to know about the Reichstag fire decree. Quote, the decree nullified many of the key civil liberties of German citizens. With Nazis in powerful positions in the German government, the decree was used as the legal basis for the imprisonment of anyone considered to be opponents of the Nazis, and to suppress publications not considered friendly to the Nazi cause. The decree is considered by historians as one of the key steps in the establishment of a one-party Nazi state in Germany, close quotes. It's a classic wag the dog tactic, and I've been warning for years that Trump would attempt to secure all power for himself in just that way. He'll stage a catastrophe, then claim that an enemy, perhaps our mainstream press, which he calls the enemy of the people, is behind it. He'll declare a state of national emergency and impose martial law. He has sycophants running our military now, as well as the Justice Department and much of our intelligence apparatus, so it may be easy for Trump to get away with that. Goodbye democracy, hello fascism. Do you think that's hyperbole, fantastical thinking, histrionic? The citizens of Germany in 1933 thought that too. In fact, Hitler told them that he would, this is a quote, make Germany great again. Sound familiar? Read the essay linked in the written post. You'll be shocked by the parallels. So, need more convincing? Have a look at what Timothy Snyder, professor of history at Yale University and the author of On Tyranny, 21 Lessons from the 20th Century. See what he has to say in a Boston Globe essay. There's a link too in the written post. And read his book, or have a look at the comments of Stephen Levitsky, co-author of How Democracies Die. This in a conversation reported in MIT News, or listen to an interview of Levitsky linked in the written post. There are plenty more people concerned about Trump's threat to our democracy. Just look it up. We all better wake up to the reality of what megalomaniac Donald Trump has promised, and which is likely just around the corner. We've been watching this coup d'etat in slow motion for 4 years, and the finale will likely play out within the next 66 days. It's a horrifying thing to realize that most with most of the Republicans in Congress actively participating in Trump's fraud, and with the courts and major departments of government effectively neutered, the fate of our democracy may rest solely on the decision of a few generals to resist an illegal order. As bad and perhaps worse, if Trump attempts a coup, 71 million Trump voters will applaud. What'll we do with that? A lot of barrels of ink and miles of newsprint, as well as huge volumes of online e-ink, have been used to celebrate the Biden-Harris win. But it isn't time to sit back and sigh in relief over a coming Biden-Harris administration, or that we've turned away from chaos and cruelty, because that may not happen. Of course, my analysis may be all wrong. Pray that it is. Maybe all Trump is doing is collecting donations for his super PAC and his re-election fund for 2024. He can later divert those hundreds of millions of dollars to himself and his family, like he did with his charity. Or maybe he's trying to stay relevant so that he can start a $6 per month subscription streaming service that rakes in $1 billion a year from his devoted followers. His grifting would be a welcome alternative to the destruction of our democracy. I'm Jack Altshuler.